Hi guys, happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well and staying safe and healthy. Day 68 already went for my walk, which I captured on my Instagram, although I didn't make a video today while I was walking. But today is chapter 4, lesson 55, a really great lesson that I'm going to go over in a second. But one quick observation that I was making today is I noticed that for the first time in a really long time, almost for as long as I can remember, it seems like time has finally slowed down. So I kind of view it as a positive thing that has come out of this quarantine. I feel like before this, and even from talking to so many people, it always felt like the days, the weeks, the months, the years were just flying by, and you could never really quite grasp time. And for the first time, it feels like time has finally slowed down, and the slower pace of life has been really nice. And I think just having this extra time, and I know I keep saying this, but please do cherish this time. It's so valuable to really slow down and look at yourself introspectively, and it's going to really relate to what I'm going to read today, which the title of the lesson is Success Habits. And, big key to understanding your habits and changing your habits and developing them is to actually kind of slow down and understand what they are, and to observe them and bring awareness to how they currently are in order to change them. So it's kind of nice to have this slow pace of time right now, and you can really use that to your advantage to really become aware of how you are in your day-to-day life. Okay, so let's jump right into it, and then all the dots will connect, I promise. Okay, so Jimmy, who is the wealthy gardener's kind of like protege, who he's been sort of mentoring, is asking, I'm going to try not to give the story away because it's so good. So basically, this is a question that he's asking. He's asking for like sort of one final piece of advice. And the wealthy gardener said, I'd have to tell you to form successful daily habits. We first make our habits, and then our habits make us. It's the ultimate life strategy. And honestly, I think that this is so profound that I had to highlight it and make a note as to how important that statement is. And I'm going to read it one last time. I'd have to tell you to form successful daily habits. We first make our habits, and then our habits make us. It's the ultimate life strategy. Prosperity may be a way of life, he continued, but it's a way of life that's built on doing the right things. The longer we do the right things, the more these right things become our habitual patterns. It's not that habits lead to effortless achievement, but that our most repeated activities over time will become almost involuntary. Habits compel us, and then they eventually control us. Life is difficult alone, Jimmy. Stay close to the source. Be aware of silent promptings. Direct your thoughts. Heed your inner wisdom. You will find that universal intelligence always responds to clarity and faith. Habits are behavior patterns followed until they become nearly involuntary. I have always felt a repugnant contempt for the power of habits. It seemed like a philosophy for slackers, for those without the iron discipline or sheer willpower to plow down obstacles. Success habits seemed like a cop-out for the weak, until the power of habit finally beat me into humble submission. All bad habits start slowly and gradually, said Zig Ziglar. And before you know you have the habit, the habit has you. Motivation is what gets you started, said Jim Rohn. Habit is what keeps you going. Our repeated activities over time become almost involuntary. Once you understand that habits can change, you have the freedom and responsibility to remake them, wrote Charles Duhigg in The Power of Habit. Once you understand that habits can be rebuilt, the power of habit becomes easier to grasp, and the only option left is to get to work. The life lesson, success habits. I erred in thinking that habits were for weaklings, but saw that my own prosperity was built on daily habits. And this chapter really touched upon the idea of habits, but a book that I can highly, highly, highly recommend, which goes into depth as to exactly what you need to do, like the physical and mental element of it, is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a newer book. I think maybe probably came out in the last couple years, if I'm not mistaken, but it is an excellent book. So if you really grasp this concept of your habits and how your habits will take you towards prosperity and wealth, that is an excellent book. Again, that was Atomic Habits by James Clear. That will actually walk you through it step by step on what you need to do on a day-to-day basis and how you need to think about things in order to set those habits. So that was chapter 4, lesson 55, which is actually the last lesson in chapter 4. And after that, it's actually going into chapter 5, the 10 seeds of wealth, which I'm really excited about. And I'm trying not to skip ahead and read, but just by the titles of those chapters, of those lessons, it seems so good. The first one is Think Wealth. After that, it's Frugality. After that, it's Profitability, Get Out of Debt. So I'm just giving you guys a little sneak peek. Save Urgently, Keep Score, Beat Inflation, Minimize Risk, Multiply It, and Passive Income. So I'm really excited to get through these next 10 seeds. So that concludes that. And just something, again, that I was thinking a lot about today is the position that a lot of people are going to be in with their cars and kind of where I want to see myself at the end of this year. These are all just kind of raw thoughts that have been sort of cycling through my own mind. I know one of the things that I want to do is really get my cars, some of my older year cars, which I think right now I have maybe one 2017 and a couple of 2018s. I do want to switch out into 2020s. I think for the remainder of this year, we'll see some really great deals in the car buying space, just because these dealerships are going to take such a hit from these last couple months during this pandemic that I think just throughout the year, they're going to be really trying to claw their way back into sales. And so we'll see a lot of really great deals and some great incentives to buy. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now, is that's where I want to position myself towards the end of the year. I think I also really want to figure out how I could help people get out of some of the cars that they want to get out of, roll out of some negative equity, and also use that as a means of helping myself getting into cars and hopefully kind of getting that into some sort of strategy that other people can use as well. So hopefully be able to help people who want to get out of cars and then help people who want to get into cars and have an advantage on both ends. So that's kind of what's been going through my mind all day today. And other than that, just really trying to project out for the rest of this year where I want to be at and what the marketplace is going to look like. But I think having newer cars is definitely going to be the edge that I'm going to need. And again, I know I've talked about this in past videos, is that I really do believe that the right strategy, at least for me, has been buying newer cars. And, you know, that strategy, at least in terms of in the car rental marketplace, has also been really proven by how these rental car companies work, how RV rental places work. They all rent out new cars and they rent them out for X amount of time and then they roll out of them. And there's really a reason for that. And that's, of course, one is to minimize risk in terms of maintenance and things like that. And it's less variables ultimately because you don't really have to anticipate for very many problems, which can occur quite often with used cars. And especially when they're being rented out and being driven by so many different types of people, going to all different types of places, different types of driving habits. You know, those are just variables that I've never wanted to mess with, and I just could not ever find a clear way to tackle those and understand what the financial risk would be behind those, which is why I buy new and then I trade out after X amount of miles. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been on my mind. And on that note, I will wrap up this video for today, day 68 of the 75-day challenge. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.